Hey everybody, this is Tambio and I'm back with another third-party Transformers video review. And this time I have ToyWorld's TW-D01 Roar, or also known as Snarl. I don't know if you can actually tell, but this box is pretty large. It's a little bit different from how ToyWorld has generally been doing their boxes. Generally they'll have it and they'll have a big old window on it and you can see the figure inside of it. But this time they have kind of some artwork on the front of the character with such, and then you come to the side and you have that same artwork. You can't really see it very well because it's real close. Then you come to the back and you actually see pictures of the toy itself, him in Dino mode and then in robot mode. So, and then you come over here and then you can see pictures of both Dino and robot mode from the back portion. And you look at the top of the box and you have a nice little ToyWorld logo right there, or a nice large ToyWorld logo. And then on the bottom right here, you have a bunch of warning labels and also what this guy is. And so, like I said, with the box, it's a little bit different. So it's actually a flip panel. So let me go ahead and get this guy open so you can check him out. So you flip this up and you pull this up, and you have your instructions inside. So I haven't opened the instructions because they are sealed. They're not taped or anything, but you can see it from both sides. So it's not a folded booklet or anything. He comes with his technical data card, and then he comes with also a sticker. So if you take this card, if you can get it just right, you can actually see his tech specs on it. And on the back of the card, it has him in both Dino, in his Dino mode, and a picture of him in his robot mode also. And it's the picture of the figures, so you can see the technical data right there. But I can't actually read what that says. No, it doesn't look like it's translated above it either. So come in here and real quickly show this off to you also. So you pull that open and then you have actual styrofoam, and we haven't had anything with styrofoam in it since those Fans Project Retrobots, the gosh, I'm trying to remember what they were called, but they haven't had styrofoam on anything recently, and I think that's kind of cool. So you pull the styrofoam down, and here's the inside of it. And then you have the figure. So he has his two weapons and the figure, and then styrofoam block right here covering the tail. So we'll go ahead and remove this guy out and remove his weapons. And normally his instructions are underneath this portion right here, but let me show you, there's nothing underneath there right now. And then it says, you can see the big old TW. I don't know if you can see that because it's so white, but basically on the back of it is TW on there, and that's why there's these little notches right here on the bottom and the top. Let me get everything lined up now. Alright, so he's out of the box and he has his accessories, a sword and then his gun. So things that you do with this, he can actually store the gun within his tail. So if you come back here and you can see this portion right here that's hollowed out, you can pop that open and then you can actually see within this gold right here the outline of his sword. So you take that, stick that in there. Okay, and then up at the very top there's a hole right here for his gun, and that's how everything stores within his Dino mode. I have to say that this guy, I really, really, really like him. I like the way he looks. I like the way all this chrome looks. It's gold chrome. It is very, very, very nice. He's going to look really good in my display case. Real quickly, I'm going to show you off some of his articulation and such. Every single one of these panels, or these, the panels or plates right here, are individually on a ball joint. Even these back here, this little bitty one, it's on a ball joint. It is crazy with what they did to this guy in terms of just articulation on those. It's not needed, but it is highly appreciated. So you come here, and his front legs, forward, back, you have a little joint right here at the elbow, I guess. There's nothing at the foot. And then you come back here to this back leg, forward, back. It's a little off just because of the way the joint is. And then there is a joint right here. It's a very strong ratchet. And there's a twist. There's also a twist on this one also, on the bottom foot. And then there's a toe pivot right here. Then for the tail, there is some slight articulation in here if you don't have it locked in. There's some stuff right here. You can see this connector bit, so you can get some kind of play out of that if you wanted to. And then coming to his head, his mouth does open. It's really hard to do it sometimes. There you go. See, his mouth does open, and his head can look up and down, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so for his transformation, you want to start up at the head, because that's where you're going to get the legs from. So you start up at the head, and you want to, because you can see this crease that runs right down the middle of the head, and you want to pop the head apart. I just don't have any fingernails, so it's hard to get it, and the posts really do stick in really well. So you fold that open, and then you want to take and rotate this portion around, and there's going to be a joint right here, and that's where you want to rotate the joint at. So you have that, and you come back here. This panel right here opens up. You want to take the leg, you want to flip it around, and kind of want to tuck it into here. Come on, there it goes. Then you want to close that panel again. And then you want to take everything and just kind of get it a little straight in here. There we go. That's how that goes. And then you want to do the same thing for this side. Flip open this panel, then rotate this around, and then up into there, and then close. And this portion right here is going to kind of make his heel, and unfortunately it doesn't peg into anything, so it just kind of stays there. Then you want to take the Dino head and just kind of rest it on the side of his legs. Alright, so now that the legs are done, we're going to come up to the top portion up here, and we'll go ahead and break this apart and remove the sword, and then take it and twist it so that it's either way, I guess it really doesn't matter, like that. And then we're going to twist this up, and then you can take the hands that are right here. There's a panel that flips up. You can reach in there, and I wish there was a notch right here, but there's not, so you just have to reach in there and grab the fist and pull it out. Alright, so that like that. And then you want to come back here, pull this out, and rotate it around. And then you want to take this, and you can do it with it on it, but it's really hard. It's easier if you just take everything apart like that. and then tap it back in. And you can push that back in a little bit more. Alright, so then after you have these into place, then you can take the arms and raise the arms up like that. And then there's two little panels up underneath here. I don't know if you can see that. Here, I'm going to do this one first. You raise that up, and then this one right here. Raise that up. Alright, and then then the last part is the head. So you flip that down, flip open the head, and there you go. He is complete. And oh gosh, those are really strong. Still pretty back heavy. He's still leaning on his heels back there. Alright, so he has his gun. His gun actually comes into two pieces. So you have this piece, and then you have this piece. It looks like it may combine together, kind of like maybe Hercules guns did. I'm not really sure right now what they're going to do with this. They haven't really shown very many combined pictures, and the picture that they did show just barely showed him as a leg, and it didn't show very much more. There's no instructions in here indicating how to transform him into his combined mode, or where the different connectors are going to be. I know that whenever it was transformed, he was in Dino mode, and his head was actually the legs. So what it seems like these connectors right here, these will be probably what connect it to whichever figure is going to be the main body. And then these right here, you see these right here, these will connect it to probably the foot portion. So, alright, so what some other people have done, because his sword looks a little short, they'll take his gun and then connect the sword to the gun, and you can see little bits of the gold already kind of flaking off. I haven't transformed him that many times and it's already kind of flaking off. That's unfortunate. So what they'll do is they'll take it and put the sword in like this and have him holding it like this, but then you don't have any portion for the gun. There and there. Alright, so for his articulation, pull these off real quick so I can show you the hands. Starting up at the head, you have the head's on a ball joint, and it's on that pivot too, so it's really weird. It can actually pivot forward. I don't think it's supposed to, but it can. These are on all kinds of joints, so you can have these up a little bit more or down, or you can twist them some. It's kind of all based upon how you want them to look. Then his arms, when you come out to here, it's the inside joint will allow you to move it forward and back. Then there's a different joint, two different joints that will allow you to extend and then kind of move it out, but it only gets to about that far. So, and you can see those joints on the inside of the arm. So, alright, and then he has a cut right here, right above the elbow, so that you can twist it. Then he has an elbow joint, which is really strong ratchet. Then he has the hand. It doesn't have any kind of twist, but it does open. So that's about it. And then you come down here to the waist, and you have a waist swivel. Then you have the leg joint, so you can move it forward and back. And then you can see the ratchet joint. Actually, see how that works in there. So there's a joint inside the hip, and then there's a joint inside the part of the leg right here that allows you to move it out, and that's a really strong ratcheting joint also. Those strong ratcheting joints always scare me. So then you have a twist right here, right above, right above the knee. Then you have the knee joint, which is another strong ratcheting joint. And then coming down here to the foot, you have a pivot so that it can pivot up and down, and then it can also pivot out to the side. So, and that's actually two different joints. The joints are in the same spot. Ooh, the one right here allows you to turn it, and then the screw right here allows you to pivot the toe portion. So the only real kind of gripe that I have with this guy, other than the fact that it seems like his chrome is starting to flake off, is with his legs. His legs look a little weird. When you have them fully extended, when you have the legs fully extended and you do them open like this, he looks like it's just a visual kind of optical illusion, but it looks like he's kind of pigeon-toed. He's not. He's not at all. It just kind of looks like it. So most of the time you have to have it closed like this to make him look somewhat decent. And then when you have it closed like this, if you look at the way that this portion comes down and it connects to the leg, it looks like his knee joint is going backwards. But if you turn it and look at it, clearly it's not, because this portion's straight, and that's the horizontal part of the leg. It's just that this comes out like this and kind of throws it off. So it's a little strange, and if you do it one less, then you have to flip this out, and that's where I was having all the problems with getting him to stand up correctly, because it was wanting to lean backwards. Actually, it's not doing too bad right now. If you lean him forward, then it doesn't do too bad, because he has a lot of weight back here because of his tail that leans on the back of him. I don't want to seem like I'm nitpicking this thing to death. I'm just trying to show you some of the things that I'm finding on it right now, because I really do like this guy. I'm a big fans project kind of fanboy also, but when I saw that these were coming out, I absolutely kind of fell in love with the way that these guys looked. I kind of was in on with the weapons until I actually saw some pictures of them, and then how the Target Masters had the big old thing sticking out the back of them. I really didn't like that. I wish that they would have taken and found some way to fix that. That was unfortunate on that part. And then I wasn't going to sit there and spend, oh gosh, how much on getting the Diaclone versions of them. No, thank you. I think some places are like selling them for like $200. No, thank you. I'll go ahead and stick with these. They're gonna combine. I've seen pictures on them. It just doesn't show on the box or anything. So please check out my other videos. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. This is Tambiota, and I'll see you next time.